Good evening, everyone. Another stream, another day, another stream, another dollar 50 because of inflation. Hopefully, everybody's doing good tonight. Nice little Monday. It's pouring down rain here in a thunderstorm, and so if you lose me, that means that I've lost power. Where I live, if there's lightning in Moscow, that's an excuse to cut the power here. So, a thunderstorm actually overhead. Uh, 2 days ago, I lost power because there was a thunderstorm, and so they like doing that. And let's get right into the subject, and I'll get back to the stream people that are here. And there have been people on here who have talked about maybe I should do debates with people and things like that. And my issue with debates is you end up with nobody, very, very few people ever are swayed by a debate. And the reason for that is look at a political debate. Other than the Trump-Biden debate, there really hasn't been a definitive debate that I know of in political history. And there was nothing on the substance that was definitive about that debate. It was just the whole world and the whole country could see that Joe Biden was indeed a walking dementia patient. And so that's the only thing that made that one definitive, not substance. So what happens is in a debate, you have people, let's just use politics. You have people, most of the time in America, it's Republican versus Democrat. So you end up with both sides will tune in if they're politically active in their mind. And nobody changes their mind. And it's to the point to where even when one side is just totally bumbling and out of it, there were even news outlets saying that Joe Biden won that debate immediately after Trump. Not many, because it was so bad. But the guy, he obviously didn't even barely know where he was. So debates to me have never changed people's minds. It is activating the sentiment that a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. That's what debates are. And the only thing debates actually do is if you have somebody who's on the fence, which means they're tuned out, really. Why somebody would tune out and then think they should vote is questionable to me. But anyway, if someone is totally tuned out and they have no clue what either one stands for, yeah, I guess you could draw some people to your side or whatever. The undecideds, which is always a low number anyway. And the subjects that we get into on here, we get into biblical subjects, we get into cosmology subjects, we get into all kinds of subjects on here. And no matter what I pick to talk about, there's always seems to be a detractor or two, which is fine. That's just the way it is. That's life. And but again, to me, to debate these people, to bring them on here and debate them is not the way to do it. And I've been thinking about it, and I think there's a better way to do this. And that is to have somebody come on and if they have a totally different take than I do, they can come on, they can present their side of the story. And then what I would like to do is I would like to question them as to why they have come to the conclusions they've come to, discover their evidence, and maybe I could be wrong. And maybe there's people in the audience that haven't heard the evidence that they like to present. Or that some people talk without presenting the evidence. And if they actually got down and presented the evidence, they might convince more people. So I'm thinking that might be a viable way of getting alternative viewpoints on the channel where we can get in and I'd love to have somebody on the Ball Earth debate defend the Ball Earth, and then let me question why they have come to the conclusions they have. If they have come to the conclusion that water bends over the ocean, I would like to hear about the empirical evidence they use for that. And maybe they have some, maybe they don't, but I haven't come across it yet. There's no empirical evidence that ever shows that water will do that. Some things are maybe a little bit less black and white, or don't have the edges that are as sharp, and that's fine. So anyway, I will think about this more, and I'm open to it. I'm totally open to doing this. And so let's just say it's recently, we've talked a lot, like we do a lot, about hell and universal salvation and things like that. If Mike B wants to come on, I'll give him 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever he thinks he needs, and he can defend his argument. And with something like that, I think we would have to agree that you can't just go by the feelings. You have to give some sort of scriptural backing, which is I don't think that's asking too much. But after the 20-minute or 30-minute or however long is necessary for them to present, during their presentation, I'd like to take notes and then come back and say, okay, you have stated that I'm going to pick something that's not that subject, but biblical, so just to give you an idea. You have stated that Jesus was not God, or that Jesus was God. What is your evidence for that? And find out where they got, why they believe that, where they got the information from, and go from there. And I think that's maybe a way to get people on the quote unquote other side to come on and discuss their belief systems and why they believe that. We can get it on there, and then the people in the people on here can decide. And the idea is to get people on all sides of issues to present evidence, to actually think about the actual evidence about their argument and be able to present it, and then we can all take a look at it. So that's that on that. And what I'm probably going to do tonight is I'm going to give you a practical example. I gave one before, sort of like this, but I want to show you how it actually works out. There was a video that came out that was talking about how the fast food joints, when they say 100% all beef or whatever, they're lying. They're talking about other stuff. And they were like seven fast food franchises that really don't have all beef patties or whatever. And this is really what's in them and stuff like that. And it was the typical video that I hate, where they just hem and haw and bring up the same thing 2 or 3 times before they get into the heart of the matter, because they want time to go by so they can get more ad revenue. And so I decided to use Google Gemini to analyze that. And I'm going to show you what I did and how it came back with the results it did. And it was much better than watching the damn video. And what I want to demonstrate is that there's a difference between Googling something and using AI. A lot of people use AI as Googling something, and that's why typical Googling is going to go away, because people are just going to use AI. But it's a lot more powerful than that if you can understand the difference. Google, if you Google something, it's going to just dig for an answer and give it to you. And sometimes it's concise and sometimes it's not. With AI, you can say, no, don't just give me the information, but format it for me so I can use it in a certain format, even put it into a spreadsheet for me, whatever. And we're going to get into that a little bit tonight, just to show you guys the difference. Again, AI is garbage in, garbage out. You're only going to get what it's fed to it. And what's fed to it is the same thing that's basically in Wikipedia. And we know that the government and the CIA control Wikipedia. And we know this now. As the whistleblowers will come out and said, yeah, it's CIA controlled. And something that we conspiracy theorists have known for 20 years at least. It's the government's encyclopedia is what it is. And what's nice about an electronic encyclopedia for them is that they can change it on the fly. They can change anything at any time, just by going in and electronically editing what is there. You can't do this with an encyclopedia that's in print. What's in print is in print. And so anyway, let's go to the stream, and then we'll get into a little bit of the AI thing. And I'll have to do a little bit of preparation on that. But let me know what you guys think about that idea about, and it could be you guys, it could be somebody else you know that wants to come in, or you think would be good to come in and discuss an opposing. It doesn't even have to be opposing. It could be agreeing with me, and they could present their evidence. It's up to them. But as we get more and more into going back to cosmology and stuff like that, I think we're going to end up with the same kind of people, the same kind of what we would call trolls. And I think we should elevate them and say, look, you either can be a troll, or you can actually come on here and present your side of the story. Because other than that, the stream basically comes down to pretty much, as you guys know, an echo chamber. And I'm not bashful in saying that. There are too many millions of places where you can get the opposite. Human thinking, stinking thinking, Satan influenced bullshit that you can get all over the place. And I want to filter most of that out here, but I am willing to do this kind of you present and then let me question why you have come to these conclusions. And I think that people would learn more that way. So I've summarized it twice now. Mark Harris, good to see you. You were first today. Good to have you, Mark Harris, as usual. And Nevermind. Hello, Nevermind. Great to see you. And Rolos. All these people in the colder climates. Good to see you guys. And I did finally look at your picture, Rolos. It's very nice. Now, is that a hotel? I'm not sure what it is still, but it was very nice seeing the big picture. Michael B., good to see you. And your double rainbows. Let's see. The real D&B. Hello. Different name, but we know who you are, D&B. Good to see you. See, he's got a flat ocean in his picture. Coriolis Tony, again. I think he changed his name. It used to be Tony Coriolis, correct? Or am I just losing it tonight? Yeah, definitely raining a lot. And guess what? My roof is leaking 3 different areas. Oh, well, I'm not concerned about it. My brother can fix it, so I've got buckets out in the appropriate places. Normally I would freak out over something like that. I'd be all concerned or whatever, but I guess because I know my brother can do the job, it's just like, I'll put up with it until he can get here and do it. Judson -OM4ZB. Have you seen the first season of The House of David? I have just noticed that is up there. And so I guess you have seen it. And what are your thoughts? Is it worth watching? Because I generally won't watch something. Now, there's exceptions if I happen to be interested in the subject in particular. I won't usually watch something new, especially a series, unless somebody recommends it to me. Rolo signed me up for like 7 different subjects. Yeah, you know what? I got to come up a way for people to be able to request this. Good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Maybe what I'll do is I'll have people just email me, or maybe I'll set up a special email where they can do that. I have so much going to my main email now. I'd hate to miss something that is from somebody else. Plus, it could be spammed out. They think it's spam and it's not. So that's a good point. How do I get, if somebody wants to talk about a subject, how do I do it? Let's see. What I want people to don't come on and question. I want you to be convicted in your belief system about something. And with that conviction, I'm going to basically, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but I can't think of another way to put it. I'm going to expose whether you are founded in good a good base, a good foundation of actual facts and things like that. Because that's what I want to know. I want to know what the facts are and things like that. And so that will bring it to light. That's a better way to do it. How your foundation is in that belief system, how settled it is in actual things that you can prove out, so to speak. Although prove out isn't always necessarily the right terminology. Michael T. Pyle, good to see you. Michael T. Pyle's coming from beautiful California, where he gets to soon, if he wants to, vote on a proposition to get rid of 4 or 5 different. He gets to vote if California can gerrymander or not. Hey, Michael Powell, did you hear about the stink about the mail-in? First of all, they shouldn't have mail-in ballots at all. A lot of you who follow this will know that Gavin Newsom, the current governor of California, needs to have a referendum where I think it's a 60% plurality of the people, 60% majority of the people need to vote yes for him to be able to go to the legislature or whoever does it and say, okay, redistrict these maps or do a redistricting of the California political maps. And if I'm not mistaken, he needs 60% of the people to vote for it, which is highly unlikely, but that's what he needs. So they came out with a ballot for that, and they mail the ballot to you, and you put a solid dot in the one that, like if you vote yes or no, whatever. You stick it back in the envelope. And when you stick it back in the envelope, there's a little hole in the envelope where you can clearly see if the person marked it no or not. If you voted no, it's going to show up before you even open the envelope. So what that leaves the ability for people to just throw that away. Oh, they're against it. You don't even open the thing. You just lose it, or maybe you pay the mail carrier to lose it. Things like this have happened before in other places. And so how disingenuous is that? You fill it in, you put it back in the envelope the way you're supposed to. And the one area that shows from the little hole they have in the envelope is whether you voted no or not. You can tell. Are you freaking kidding me? Nothing to see here. Move on. Can we have Neil to argue for the ball side? I would love Neil to argue for the ball side. I would love to argue anything with him. That some idiot like that I might debate. He's never challenged ever. Oh, what he says, it's gospel. Up to 30 minutes, be prepared. Well, nobody would have to take 30 minutes. I'm just saying we should probably set an upper limit on it. Or, probably what it'll be is what's the subject, whatever this process is, how someone applies to do this. What's the subject? And then we can discuss how long of a time period you need. I just don't want somebody to come on and say, okay, I need 2.5 hours to prove something. Well, if you need 2.5 hours to prove something, chances are it's not provable. It's too long. So anyway, Whale, good to see you, Whale. Whale Oil Beef Hooked, 38.92. All these people changing their names slightly. That's okay. You can get Jaron. Oh yeah, we can bring Jaron on. I'd be creeped out the whole time, but we could bring him on. Sissy May, hello, Sissy May. Several of my favorite YouTubers were removed on October 15th, 2020. 2029? That hasn't even occurred yet, Sissy May. I think you've got something mistyped there. Hello, Oof. Good to see you. So guess what? So there's a peace treaty in the Middle East. What's the Bible say? When they say peace, peace, sudden destruction comes, right? So let's see if sudden destruction comes. Or is that something that was fulfilled a long time ago? Because they always claim that. And they claimed it with the dumbest stuff. The Abraham Accords. When they say peace and safety, sudden destruction's coming, here it comes. Nope. They've been doing that with so many different supposed agreements and little things that go on in the Middle East since I've been on YouTube, which is a long time, and even before. So, oh, it's a warehouse. Thank you, Rolos. I appreciate that. Makes sense. Who do we got here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I know who this is because I recognize the dog. Hello to Swarty Lovejoy. Why the change in name? Good to see you, my friend. It's been a while. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I forget about that. I forget you moved. Colder climate. I've been living in Sissy Mae's former hometown for more than 2 years now. Thanks for the reminder. Never mind. I forgot. Yeah, good to see you as well. Hopefully you've been doing well. For those who don't know, that is Pugsley Lovejoy. You can always tell by the dogs. Rolos, 20, 30 minutes. Be prepared to present 30 minutes back and forward, questions, disputes. Well, I would say, at least the way I'm thinking now is, and you can tell me if you think this is too much, too little, whatever, is however long the person needs, they think to properly display their subject. Let's put it that way. And that's what I'll give them. And then I guess the longer they go and the more points they make, the more I can question. You know, if they come on and say, I believe this because this one thing, the questioning probably won't be long. But I don't want to limit people to a point where they say, well, I couldn't present my side of the argument. And I think it's best if we have different sides of the arguments. If somebody comes on and echo chambers me, it doesn't really edify much in the audience, unless most of the audience doesn't echo me anyway, which could be the case. So I don't want to limit people to, okay, you only have this long, go long, and I'm there with a stopwatch. That's not the idea. Changing the names because you have the setting to show the name, not the chosen name. Really? Well, see, I don't make that choice at all. StreamYard does. I don't think. I'm looking to see. Why do I have question marks next to some people? Maybe it's in the settings. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, it must be in the YouTube setting. I don't have direct access to YouTube. I'm going through StreamYard, like a third party place to do this. So if evidently, because it's like everybody's changed their name. So for whatever reason, StreamYard has changed the way they display the name. I haven't done anything. See, you can have this. You can have Pugsley Lovejoy on here. Earth is flat and stationary, and I'd be like, okay, thank you. I agree. Next. Switching to live chat affords the true chat comments as they are written. I'm looking at something here. Oh, I see why they don't. When I check media to present on stage, why it doesn't happen automatically now? It's unchecked. I didn't change that either. I haven't changed anything. YouTube is reinstating channels and removed them on October 15th, 2020. Not yet. I wish that you let me know, Sissy May, when you see somebody reinstated. Yeah, you know, even if Pugsley Lovejoy came on and said that, I would ask for his evidence. I would love to have Pastor Nolan on here. Oh, that would be so sweet. Because I have a sort of, I guess you could say, a ulterior motive with him, because he puts people in fear, and I hate that. For his own benefit, for his own passing of the plate, so to speak. I'm still looking for some settings that I guess I got to do it on my YouTube channel, not through here. I got to go to my YouTube channel anyway, because I'm going to pull up a video I saw today. So far, my computer hasn't been locking up like it used to. Let's go to history. Come on, where's the burger one? It was one of those, it just aggravated me. Here's an interesting one that I was watching. Can you get out of hell? And it shows a case, a big safe where you would put your valuables in. I guess you're like supposed to be in it, and it shows flames on the front of the safe, and it's locked. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this, and this aggravates me. This is a 17-minute video. And it's only 17 minutes long because they want it to be that long so they can get ad revenue. So, Mark Harris, hello. And it's Rue. See, I'm seeing, let me see if I can change it back to the, I want the, no, I'm not going to do that now. I'll get all lost. Alrighty, let me tell you something. So you might not have heard that, so it might sound weird. Let's take a look at this, and I'm going to show you how AI can help you a lot more than just Googling something. So this video came up in my feed right here. And let me get to it so we can get the title. Don't order burgers in these 8 chains. They're not 100% real beef. All right. My thing is, okay, give it to me. There's 8 different chains that have issues. I don't mind you telling me what the issues are, but don't drag it out. So I'm going to play this for a little bit, and then I'm going to show you how to circumvent this, because you're going to find a lot of videos like this. So let me go ahead and play it.
Burger industry doesn't want you to know. When they say 100% beef, they're playing word games that would make a politician jealous. Here's how the scam works. They take real beef, grind it up, then add water, salt, and a cocktail of preservatives. Technically, the meat portion is 100% beef. But the final patty, that's a different story entirely. Most major chains use what's called pink slime, mechanically separated beef that's been treated with ammonia to kill bacteria. It looks like strawberry soft serve ice cream and smells like a chemistry lab. This stuff was so controversial that even McDonald's had to stop using it after public outcry. But here's the kicker. They just found new ways to hide the same garbage. Now they use textured vegetable protein, soy concentrates, and something called beef flavor that's made in a lab, not a pasture. The average fast food burger patty is pumped full of sodium phosphates to hold water, giving you that juicy bite. But you're not tasting beef juice, you're tasting salt water and chemicals. 1/4 pound patty can contain over 800 milligrams of sodium before you even add the bun and condiments. And those grill marks you see? Half the time they're painted on with artificial smoke flavoring. Real beef doesn't need fake grill marks, but when your patty is 30% filler, you need all the help you can get. The worst part? These companies spend millions on marketing to convince you that their processed meat paste is somehow premium beef.
Okay. It's around this point that I kind of get fed up with it. It's like, get into it. You're promising 8 different chains that have issues. Okay. So that bothers me. And again, I've talked about, I know I have a problem with my attention span because it's been destroyed by today's technology. I will admit it. I got to work on that. So anyway, here's what you do. You click on share. You copy the link. Because I don't have time to watch 17 minutes to see which fast food place should I go to or not. If I want to go to a fast food. Okay. Here's today's AI generated. I couldn't fit it all in there, but the thumbnail tonight was generated by AI. Anyway, so you come to Google Gemini. Okay. Here it is right here. Nope. You're not seeing that. Sorry. So I copied the link. Now we're going to go to Google Gemini, which is Google's AI, which used to be my favorite, but it's so politically correct now that you can't get it to do half the stuff you want it to do. I can't do that. I can't depict an actual person. Why not? Everybody else will, but you won't. Anyway. So this is Google Gemini, and I know it's hard to see. But with Google Gemini, I'm not going to make an image here, so let me get rid of that. You ask it what you want. Now, I want to get the information as concisely and quickly as I can out of that 17-minute video, so I don't sit there and waste my time with him telling me that, because he does it over and over. I watched enough to know. They put added salt in, and it's like, okay, you keep saying this. It's filler. He's the one with filler too, to get ad revenue. So I asked Google, or asked Gemini instead of Google. You won't get this with Google. In the attached video link, search the video for pertinent information on burgers for the different food chains provided. Also, provide a listing of each food chain with the problems with their burgers. List any food chains the video states are good or 100%. No, I'm not even going to go that far. present the format in a spreadsheet type of display so that I can easily see each franchise and the quality of their food. Now, you can do it a lot faster if I'm not saying it out loud to you guys and stuff like that. So you just click on it. Oh, I didn't. Here is the video link. So always remember to put the video link in there. I did not. So in the description, while it's working on it, here it comes. McDonald's. Look, fast food chain, burger information, pertinent details, identified problems and criticisms, and rating, is it good? And I can take this, copy it, and paste it into a spreadsheet. Okay, McDonald's, known for the Big Mac Quarter Pounder. Big Mac has a unique sauce and structure. Quarter Pounder mentioned is a classic simple burger. Blah, blah, blah. It's basic and cheap. It ain't cheap. You been to McDonald's lately? Oh my, it is. It's not cheap. Criticisms. We know what the different fast food places are, so I'm not going to read those anymore. Big Mac, sauce is praised, but patty quality is questioned. Bread is too much. The patty is kind of weird in the Quarter Pounder. Not enough flavor for some. General patty quality is a recurring issue described as paper thin, and this is not giving me what I want yet. This is giving me something I don't want. Hold on. See, I can export it right here. It's even telling me I can export it. Let me do that. Let me export it. It's creating the spreadsheet for me. And I can open it. You won't see it, but I will. And it has done it. It didn't give me exactly what I wanted, so I'm going to ask it. I'm going to ask a qualifying thing. In the chart you gave me, you didn't mention what each burger contains that is not beef. Include this in the description. Now, sometimes it's faster than others, giving you an answer. It depends on what time of day and if you have a paid version of it or not. Now, the first time I did this, it gave me everything I wanted. But you will see under each AI thing, it'll say AI can make a mistake. So remember to check it and or ask correctly or whatever. I'm looking for where it modified it. I don't see that yet. No. What it does give you that's good is the good ones. Five Guys, they're expensive. Known for fresh, never frozen patties. This is not giving me what I want. Let's go to Claude AI. In the attached video, summarize, if I could spell, the pertinent information and list it in spreadsheet form for each franchise. List each burger with the contents added to the meat that are not beef. And there's the link. Let's see what Claude gives us. Now, see, Claude can't access a video link. So you have to just go to ChatGPT. Let me see, you're seeing it. There we go. I don't want to have to keep doing this. Let me copy this. So I don't have to keep retyping it every time I go. And you're going to find out which ones are better for certain things than others. So I just pasted the same prompt in here. Let's see if ChatGPT can actually look at a video. Wow, this one was quick. There we go. McDonald's possibly salt, seasoning, fat mixtures, no confirmed fillers publicly. Burger King, except the Impossible Whopper, uses soy protein. This is what I want. This is what I first got from Gemini. Potato protein, coconut oil, sunflower oil, soy oil. I don't even know what that is. Legomoglobin, methylose. Wow. Jack in the Box. Claimed inclusion of extended or fillers per video. White Castle. Fillers and extenders. Wendy's. Alleged extenders or processed meat mixtures. Carl Jr.'s or Hardee's. Alleged extenders and emulsifiers. You don't want any emulsifiers. Sonic Drive-In. Non-beef additive. Checkers and Rally. Extenders or fillers. Now, see, I didn't ask it here for a list of the good ones, but In-N-Out Burger and what was the other one? There was two good ones that it found. Rolos. Truth runs through AI. Beef production numbers versus beef sold and eaten in the U.S. versus number of cows slaughtered versus birth rate of cows per year. Catching my drift, not enough beef per human. What I have to do there, see, because I can't copy any links. Or I can't copy what's there. Hold on a second. That's not going to let me copy it here. I'm going to try something. We got to get rid of garbage that it won't understand. Okay, so what is the total beef consumption in the USA versus the beef production each year in the USA? And factoring in the birth rate of cows in America, do Americans consume more meat than what is produced? So now that I have the question, I gotta get rid of this part of it. There we go. What is the total beef consumption in the United States versus the beef production each year in the USA, and factoring in the birth rate of cows in America? Do Americans consume more meat than what is produced? More beef. Come on. What do you mean versus? You're giving feedback to a new version of ChatGPT. I am. I don't want to get feedback. Let's just get an answer. Yes, Americans consume slightly more beef adjusted for trade than what is produced domestically. So imports fill the gap. I kind of figured that would be the answer. U.S. has 86.7 million heads. See, they have heads, and then they convert. Then they're using pounds, so it's kind of hard to make a. So what they're saying is 28.91 billion pounds more. They're calling it disappearance. All right, we consume 28.7 billion pounds, which is higher than domestic production. This implies the U.S. This implies, Rolos, the U.S. relies on imports and/or draws on stocks to meet demand. Domestic production does not fully cover domestic use. Yeah, they're not going to go there. Something crossed my mind. I have to do it. How many pounds of pork is consumed each year in Israel? 9.7. What? Oh, that's the population. 12,000 metric tons. 1 metric ton is 2,200 pounds. So 26,000 pounds. So much for kosher. That's right, Rolls. They can't produce fast enough. Eventually, you end up with Soylent Green, don't you? For those who know the reference. Dean Floyd, good to see you. You remember when McDonald's signs advertised 5 minutes? Yes. I think they used the term served, if memory is right. 500 million burgers served. They've used a half a dozen cows at least by now, huh? Yeah, Soylent Green. Science fiction come true. This is going to be an early stream tonight because I really have no subject to get into tonight. Unless you guys want something. I still started. It's cooler for sure. But I started my air conditioner too late again. So it's hot. It's not horrible, but it's okay. I'm not complaining. But what I want to do, I want to change this setting. How did I get there? Nope. Oh, how did I get there? I was there before. I'd like it to, as soon as I click on it, to present. So I don't have to, it's a 2 or 3 step process now. And it used to be a 1 step. Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay, we're set. So let's see, I want to add something, share screen. Do this one. Yes, that's the way I remember it. Bugsley, beef per meal, a common serving size for a beef-based meal is about 8 ounces or half a pound. Total meals per cow using this portion size, 1 head of cattle can provide roughly 860 meals. 430 pounds of beef times 2 meals per pound. But man, a lot of that, most people don't consume. Oh, I guess they do. It's just, I don't consume it. So if the individual eats 1 beef meal per day, I am above that. It would take approximately 160 days to consume the meat in 2 to 2.3 years. If they eat beef every other day, it would take nearly 5 years. There you go. McDonald's serves that in 1 second. You know, I keep seeing more and more things, and I think it's true. How restaurants in general are starting to fail. Restaurants, fast food, they're just too expensive. The dividing line seems to be COVID. Before COVID, it's like you had to wait in line, get a reservation. Almost anywhere you went to Outback Steakhouse, you had to get a reservation. And even then, you had to wait a lot of times. And I remember sitting outside on the bench waiting for everybody inside to clear out. And now I don't care what day of the week you go, what time, you come right on in and sit down. I think what happened is it was a combination of people got used to not being able to do that during COVID. And then we had the inflation crisis. And the combination has caused people just to say, oh, forget it. For the most part. But there's a lot of places that have priced themselves out. They've either priced themselves out or they cheapened themselves out. I bring up Outback Steakhouse. Me and my brother used to always go there. In fact, we have a thing. If it's my birthday, we go there and he pays for it. If it's his birthday, we go there and he pays for it. So, did I say that backwards? I pay for it once and then he pays for it once. So it ends up net zero. But what started to happen, we started noticing weird stuff at some of the Outbacks. You would go there and there'd be no silverware on the table. And which is, I guess, okay, except for sometimes they would bring you the food and they still didn't have silverware. They would forget it. And so then you had to ask for it. In the meantime, you're sitting there waiting on the silverware and your food's sitting there getting cold. And you got to wait for them to come back with it. Well, as we found out, that was a cost-cutting measure. And we couldn't figure out how's that saving you money. And the way they do it is at Outback, they take the butter knife and 2 forks and a spoon, I think, or whatever it is, and they wrap it up in a black towel, a dinner towel, whatever. And that's the silverware. But it takes labor to do that. It takes somebody time to wrap that up and do it. And I don't know how either way, you get it wrapped up in a thing. Or no, did you not get it wrapped? I think maybe you didn't get it wrapped up. So they were trying to cut back on labor. And then you started noticing the prices on the menu started creeping up. And it wasn't just the once a year change. It'd be like once a quarter. You'd have new menus and they would be upgraded. And they would do the sort of the bait and switch game, what they used to call in the 70s, bait and switch. They used to have a thing called the Outback Special. And it was 14 ounces of steak, center cut sirloin, and 2 sides. Well, after a while, it became a 12 ounce. Same price, but they cut off 2 of the ounces. So you went from 14 ounces to 12 ounces. Now it's 11 ounces. And they offer the 8 and 7 ounce varieties or whatever at a lower price so they can keep the other one higher. They're little games they're playing. And after a while, it was a couple years ago, me and my brother were there and I got it used to cost basically $30 per person. And we got the bill a couple years ago and it was $50 per person. I told my brother, I said, I can't afford to come here anymore. I can't afford to spend $50 on a meal that I could go to the grocery store and that's feeding me for 7 days or 5 days, whatever. And he agreed. He said, yeah, I feel the same way about it. If no new cattle were born, the U.S. beef supply would run out 40.5 billion pounds, 8.85 billion pounds per year in 2.15 years. Doesn't it show you how delicate the food supply is and the supply of everything? Rolla says, you think the fake chemicals crap is cheaper. You shouldn't curse on here, Rollis. I never do. But no, organic is more expensive. We live in an upside down world. Yes, absolutely. One other thing, since we're going to be doing the streams regularly again, is do we do a dedicated Monday we're talking about this subject, Wednesday we're talking about that subject, Friday we're talking about whatever. That's another thing I'm trying to consider doing. Although I don't necessarily want to do that because a lot of it depends on my mood about stuff. Sometimes I don't want to talk about certain subjects, and sometimes I do. But I would, even people who used to be on here or whatever, they can come on and present their why they believe the earth is a spinning ball and all that stuff if they want to go down that hole. But be ready for me to challenge you on what you can demonstrate and repeat. If it's a scientific thing, you better have something you can demonstrate and repeat, or have others be able to demonstrate and repeat, like a 18-mile laser test, or 18-mile or 7-mile or 11-mile mirror test, all these things I've done personally. And so I have the empirical evidence. Now you can come up and say, oh, that's all because of refraction. Well, that's all good and well and good. You can come up with your little cognitive dissonance reasons not to believe something, but at least I have demonstrable evidence where I've gone out and done it, and hundreds of others have done the same thing. There are probably thousands of people now who have demonstrated that moonlight is cooler than non-moonlight, and they've done the taken the controls the way that their community wants it. Oh, it can't be underneath something that's trapping the heat and all that. Yeah, okay. When you do it, they won't believe it still. I did mine in an open field, nothing blocking anything. One side faced the moon, one side did not. They were back to back, and they were separated by a thermal barrier. The thermometer on the moonlit side was 2 degrees cooler than the one on the dark side. No, I can't accept that. Why not? It's what you said you wanted us to do. They gave us instructions. If you do this and don't do that, and you get the same result, then we'll believe it. And here's the thing. Why don't you go out and do it? You know the right way to do it, but you won't do it, will you? See, there's a reason behind that too. Why won't they do these things that they say we're not doing? All you have to do is this. You can demonstrate it. Just do this. Okay, do it. Demonstrate it. See, they put it on you because they know if they go out and do it, they're going to have to show their the people they're making money off of on YouTube that we were right. Because you can demonstrate and repeat what we say to do. You can. They can't demonstrate a rocket going off in space. They can, but they don't try to. Like the video I showed a couple streams ago. You can absolutely show that if you eject something from an object in space, it doesn't move. There's nothing to push against. They can make up momentum bullshit all they want all day. Well, if you're on a skateboard and you take a bowling ball and you throw it, you're going to move backwards. That's their thing. Well, we're not talking about standing on a skateboard in an atmosphere with quote unquote gravity and density and throwing a bowling ball. We're talking about a rocket in space. And what hit me after a bit was they were saying the expanding gas causes the rocket to move in the opposite direction of the gas coming out. Doesn't need to push off anything. It's momentum. Okay, well, why do you need rocket fuel then? Just take up a bunch of canisters of compressed air, huge ones, of course, and just shoot compressed air out. Why are you wasting money on fuel? Doesn't have to be hot. It's going to expand as fast as it can expand anyway because it's going from pressure to no pressure. It can't even expand faster. I don't care if you have hot gas coming out or cold gas coming out. It's going to expand at the same rate in the vacuum of space. So why do you need rocket fuel? It didn't even dawn on me because we take these things in our minds as assumptions. Well, because they'll argue, they're stuck. They really want you to argue about oxidizers because somebody along the line argued the fact that how are you going to get something to burn in space when there's no oxygen there? Well, anyone who makes that argument knows nothing about chemistry. But someone made the argument. So what they do is that's their straw man. That's the weak argument they want you to have. We had someone on the stream when I was talking about expanding gas. I didn't bring up having to need oxygen or not because I know better. I know enough chemistry to know better. I didn't bring it up. The person in the stream, they didn't argue what I was saying. They were like, you don't need an oxidizer. Or they have oxidizers. Chemicals that create the oxygen so that they can burn. Well, that's freaking great. I didn't bring that up. They're trying to create the straw man, so you'll go after that. I didn't bring that up once. Why do you even need an oxidizer? Why do you need burning fuel? You're going from pressure to no pressure. It's going to expand. I don't care, no matter what. it's going to expand and push away from the source. He didn't talk about that. He ended up leaving. He didn't answer that. He wanted me to go to the straw man. All right, I'm going to go, guys. We've been here an hour, and again, I didn't have a specific subject. Come back more often, Pugsley, because hey, your name changed to Pugsley Lovejoy. Anybody else's name change? Or did you change it? I'm scrolling back now. No, the others are still. I don't get it. Whatever. See, if I click on this, what the hell just happened? StreamYard wants me to pay $45 a month now. Sorry, no. He must have changed it. Pugsley must have changed it. Yeah, Laura, yours changed. They're telling me it's something in the settings, how it's displayed. I'll have to look at that after the stream. I have not changed anything. I can guarantee you I have not. I haven't touched a thing. And this is the first time it's different on here. I haven't been on since the last stream, and the last stream everybody was back the way they used to be. So anyway, Pugsley, you might want to check in a little more often, because we're going to get back more and more to cosmology stuff. You know, yeah, we're going to try to keep the algorithms positive this time. We'll try. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Wednesday looks good as far as I know. There is something going on with Michael's car broke down, so he might need my car to go to work. If he does, I won't be here. Other than that, Wednesday's okay, but if I'm not here, that's what happened. Chances are. So thanks for being here. Again, come up with subjects you guys want to talk about. I got to remember at the beginning of the stream to mention that, and to get some, start making a list from people. So cool, Pugsley. God bless everybody. Thanks for being here, and see you next stream. Bye-bye.